So My Hero Academia has a lot of interesting characters, right? But not all of them are in the My Hero 1 Justice series. Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another episode of the How They Can Work series. In this series, we look at characters that are not in My Hero 1 Justice 2, and we try to break them down to create movesets for them so hopefully one day they will become a playable character. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the character Shoji and his quirk Dupli Arms, and try to create a moveset for him so hopefully one day he will become either a DLC for My Hero 1 Justice 2, or hopefully will be in the next game. But before we begin this video, I just wanted to make this quick disclaimer that there will be some spoilers from the My Hero Academia manga and the My Hero Academia movie, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. So I just wanted to make that quick disclaimer real quick, just in case you didn't want to get spoiled. So, you know, if you don't like spoilers, you can click off the video. That's completely understandable. And, yeah. So, in the My Hero 1 Justice series, every character pretty much has their normal attack, they have a red attack or an unblockable, they have an armor attack or a yellow attack, and then they usually have a quirk 1, a side quirk 1, a quirk 2, a side quirk 2, a plus ultra level 1, 2, and 3. But for this series, we're not going to talk about the normal attack just because it's usually just the same thing, it's just either a punch or a kick. And we're not going to talk about the plus ultra level 3 because that's just 3 plus ultra level 1, so it's not really unique. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be using to create the moveset for Shoji. So for Shoji's quirk 1, I have it labeled as Octo Blow, and that's a reference to his ultimate attack in the manga. The way the quirk could work is Shoji creates a bunch of fists and hands on the tips of his tentacles, and he pretty much just does rapid jabs at the opponent. It kind of reminds me of something Rappa would do, except probably a lot faster and maybe do a slight bit more damage because, you know, he has a bunch of arms just punching you. So I think that would be a pretty solid quirk 1. So for Shoji's side quirk 1, I have it labeled as Dupli Arm Grapple, which is a reference to one of his attacks in My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. The way it could work is Shoji can just create a bunch of dupli arms to extend out his, arms to create kind of like a mid to long range grab. It would be a pretty fast attack, and the way it works is once he grabs you, he can slam you to the ground, and whether it just be by himself or with a dash cancel, he can go in and combo off of that, grab. But what makes the move pretty balanced is if you miss the attack, he has to retract his arms, so we'll have like an animation where he has to recall his arms back into his body. And, you have to wait for that animation to finish before you can move. So let's just say the opponent rolls out of the way of the attack, then you have to wait for the animation to finish before you can, do anything. And I think that would make it pretty balanced because it'd be a fast mid to long range grab, but if you miss it, then you have to deal with the animation. So I think that'd be pretty cool and a pretty balanced attack for him. So moving on to quirk 2, I have it labeled as Octo Ram, and the way I picture it working is something like, you know how in the sports festival Shoji was on Team Mineta, and he had his arms covering Mineta and Sue, and he was pretty much just sprinting like a tank, like he was just like running at people while Mineta and Sue were pretty much trying to steal headbands. I picture it being something like that, except obviously not with Mineta and Sue, and it could probably be an armor attack, and he pretty much just runs at the opponent, and maybe he can like open up his arms after he gets closer and kind of just turns all of his dupli arms into fist and kind of punches the person. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially since it would be really intimidating if you saw Shoji just booking it at you, because he's a pretty big character, and I think that would be really cool seeing because it would just give him that tank kind of feel where he's just running at you, and if they do make it an armor effect, then that would be a pretty good quirk 2, I would say. And I know some people are going to say that Shoji might be a little too big to make it into the game, and your point would be pretty valid if, Nomu wasn't in the game. Like, Nomu is a massive character in the game, like his model's huge, and I'm pretty sure Nomu is bigger than Shoji in the actual series, so if Nomu can make it into the game, I'm pretty sure Shoji can, even if Shoji's slightly bigger than Nomu in the series. I mean, I don't remember exactly how big Shoji is, and I don't remember how big Nomu is, but again, if Nomu can make it into the game, I can totally see Shoji making it into the game. So for Shoji's side quirk 2, I have it labeled as Intimidating Stun, and the whole idea behind this attack is I wanted to try to incorporate other things about Shoji's quirk, like Shoji doesn't just make fists and hands with his, like dupli arms, he can make like eyes, ears, and mouths and stuff like that, and just a bunch of different body parts, and I wanted to incorporate that because, it's not just fists and hands with Shoji's quirk, it's body parts, and that's what makes dupli arms so unique. And the way I wanted to do it is, so if Shoji, creates a bunch of different body parts on the tips of his tentacles in the game, and the opponent gets close to them, Then they kind of go into the scared stun animation, like they kind of just like, you know, go into like some type of scared or stun animation when Shoji kind of fans out his wings with a bunch of different body parts on the tips of his tentacles, and that would be the stun, the scared animation. So then Shoji can go into a combo after the stun's over, and I think that'd be pretty cool because again, it would incorporate other things from duplicate arms that are not just fist and hands, and it would also give Shoji a type of stun. It would obviously only work if you're on the ground, but that's what makes it balanced because it's a stun, and if they get anywhere near Shoji when he has that activated, then, you know, then they go into the scared animation, then Shoji can just start a combo off of it. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially since, again, I just want to try to make him really unique. I don't want to just make him, you know, a punching kind of character, so I think that would be pretty cool. So for Shoji's red attack, I kind of just went with a basic type of grab, you know, a nice close range grab where the animation could be he kind of just wraps his wings around you and then maybe throws you upward, and then maybe after that, either by himself or with a dash cancel, he can combo off of it. But the reason why I did it was because, you know, it's just something simple and it's different than just giving him like a punch or a kick with his red attack. And I think it'd be pretty interesting to try to incorporate his wings in some way. So it'd be pretty cool to see like just his wings wrap around the opponent instead of just, again, giving him like a normal punch or a kick for his red attack. So that's why I did it. And yeah. So for Shoji's armor attack, the way I could see it working is, remember how in the Forest Training Camp arc when Shoji saved Deku from Toga and kind of just slapped Toga to the right of him? It would look something like that, except depending on how Shoji's tracking works and where the opponent is, Shoji could create hands on one side of his body, again, depending on how he tracks and where the opponent's located. He can probably just slap the opponent to like either the left or right of him, and I think it would be pretty interesting to see that because it would be an armor move that sends the opponent either to the left or the right, because normally armor moves kind of just send the opponent into the air or into the ground or forward, but it'd be an armor move that kind of just, you know, sends the opponent either left or right. So I think that'd be pretty cool, and it'd be just a really cool animation to see Shoji kind of create hands on this one side of his body and kind of just slap the person. So like if he made arms on the left side of his body, he would slap the opponent to the right, and if he made arms on his right side of the body, he would, you know, slap the opponent to the left. I think that'd be pretty cool and just a unique and interesting armor move only to like Shoji. So for his level 1, I have it labeled as Octo Blow Rush, and it's a pretty simple level 1. The way it could work is he kind of just incorporates his quirk 1, Octo Blow, and he kind of just does it, except he runs at you while he does it. And I feel like it would be just a nice simple thing for Shoji, especially since one of, you know, his ultimate moves is called Octo Blow, so I feel like one of his plus ultra levels could kind of like, you know, mimic one of his ultimate attacks in the series. So it would work because, you know, it would do the normal amount of damage a level 1 would do, but it would also have like that running animation while he's swinging all of his arms, because Octo Blow is kind of like creating a barrage of punches at the opponent. So I think that would work pretty well for Shoji, and yeah. So for his level 2, like I said before, it's a little bit harder to create these types of things because they're kind of just like a really flashy and cool animation. So for the animation I've kind of like thought of for Shoji, I think it could work where, you know how Tokoyami has that shadowy type of effect when he does his level 2? So I think it could be something like that with Shoji, except from the shadows you can't really see Shoji. All you can see is like duplicate arms getting created from the shadows, like mouths, eyes, ears, and stuff like that, and they just get closer to the opponent. And the opponent is kind of like, you know, in a feared, like scared animation, and, you know, all you see is like the arms like moving around, like the eyes, mouths, and ears. And then from the shadows, Shoji kind of just rushes at the opponent, like, you know, out of the shadows, he just runs at the opponent, retracts his arms, and kind of creates just hands and eyes. And then he grabs the opponent, throws them upward, and then with the eyes, he kind of tracks where the opponent's gonna land. And then he runs at the opponent, turns all of his duplicate arms into fist, and kind of just punches the opponent and launches them. I think that would be really cool because, again, it incorporates things that are not just hands into the duplicate arm set. It includes like mouths, eyes, and ears in it, and then he uses the eyes to see where the opponent's going to land and then kind of goes in for that punch. I think that would be pretty cool because, again, it incorporates everything that duplicate arms has. And I just want to try to make Shoji as unique as possible, so I think that would be pretty cool to see. Plus, can you imagine that animation? It would be so cool just seeing all the tentacles kind of moving around, and then all you see is Shoji just running out of the shadows. I think that'd be pretty cool. And because he has that ninja look, he's got like the mask and stuff, and I think that'd be a really awesome animation. So some other things they can probably incorporate into his moveset is the ability to glide like Hawks. Because you know how like Hawks glides in the game when you like dash in the air and he uses his wings to glide? Well, I feel like Shoji should be able to do that too because, you know, in the actual series, he can technically glide with his wings. So I feel like Shoji should also have that type of ability where, you know, you can like glide through the air with his arms. And I think that'd be really cool to see because he kind of just fans out all of his arms into the air and then he kind of glides. I think that'd be really cool. And, you know, Hawks already kind of does it, so I don't see why Shoji can't. And I think that'd be pretty cool to see in his moveset. So yeah, that is my moveset for Shoji. Again, I try to make him unique and like different from other characters, and I try to incorporate everything with the body parts because, again, I didn't just want to make him where he just turns all of his duple arms into fist and just became a punching character. I wanted him to be pretty unique, and I wanted him to use all parts of duple arms. So, you know, again, I was just trying to do my best to do that, and I hope I did pretty well with it, and yeah. Shoji is a really unique character, and I hope one day he does come to the My Hero 1 Justice series, whether as a DLC for My Hero 1 Justice 2, if they do a DLC Season 2 pass, or in the next game. I really hope that he one day makes it in, because he's a very unique looking character. He has a lot of great moments, even though we don't get to see him all that often. He has a lot of great moments, like in the Forest Training Camp arc, and the provisional license exam arc. I think he has a lot of awesome moments, and there is enough to make a moveset for him. So yeah, hopefully one day he will become a character in the My Hero 1 Justice series. That is my Shoji video. If there's a character you would like to see me try to do, just comment them down below. Again, the character has to have some type of combat potential. Like if someone comments down below Airy, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. So if you want to see a specific character, just comment them down below, and I'll do my best to try to make a moveset for them. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. I am trying to hit 50 subs by the end of the year, so if you guys can help me out with that, that would be awesome. And yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys next time. Later.